We are back on MorningLine. Happy Halloween. We are talking local ghost stories and the like with Allen Sircy, who's author of Southern Ghost Stories, Ghosts of Gallatin and elsewhere. He was just telling me that downtown Nashville, obviously.
Oh, yeah, really haunted.
Well, you would think for sure, if you were just asking me point blank, and there's his book, what buildings might be haunted downtown? I mean, there's some no-brainers there, right? Like the Ryman, right?
Oh, yeah,
probably?
definitely. They say that it's haunted by Hank Sr.
Okay, makes sense. Hank believes. And
Well,
then,
he was kicked out of the Opry.
Okay, all right. And the Union Station?
They say room 711's haunted by a lady, and people tell me they see a lady walking up like on the second level by that clock up there. I've heard people tell me stories about that. And
okay, and downtown, Second and Broad areas there?
Yeah, well, I was telling you earlier, like First Avenue and Second Avenue is really haunted because First Avenue was the warehouse where they unloaded the ships and come off the river there, the Cumberland River. And the Second Avenue was the storefront. But back then in the early 1800s, the slaves were the ones who were unloading the ships, and they get chained up in the warehouses at night. So I've had people tell me they won't go downstairs at night in those, like the Spaghetti Factory and all those other places on Second Avenue. In the basements, they hear things, and they just feel really uncomfortable, like something's watching them. It's really, really, really strange.
Creepy. All right, let's take a few phone calls. The line's open. We'll start off with Ann. Ann, good morning. Hi, Ann.
Good morning. I live on a little street in East Nashville, and thanks to cell phones, we've been able to document in two houses on our street, and one of which we know of that's been 60 years of hauntings, and the house has actually been left empty for the last 25 years with no electricity, and we're talking fans running, lights, multiple deaths. My mother-in-law's 86 and will go to her grave with haunted stories. And actually have spent time with ghost hunters on one of these houses. But the neighborhood, because of the fact that one of these homes has relatively been left empty and people have moved out in the middle of the night, leaving all of their possessions 4 times, we have wanted to do an extensive history of our street to find out what this subdivision was actually built on. And it is in the area of the auto diesel property where the Percy Warner farm was.
Now you're saying
so
people
we
in
know that.
Are you saying people in that house moved out, or a bunch of families come and they don't stay because the home is haunted? You think? Is that
Yes,
right?
I know it is.
Okay.
I've talked to 2 of the previous owners, and the stories are consistent on why they move out in the middle of the night. They've left their clothes, their furniture, their belongings. One man lived in the garage because he was afraid to live in the house until the garage burnt down, and then he abandoned the home.
And the home's still sitting there? And the home's still there?
Yes, 25 years the home has been here.
Who owns it? Who owns it?
A family that lives on the other side of town, has raised 5 children without the benefit of rent. No one will even park in front of this house. We've had extensive construction going on, and it's strange. It doesn't matter who parks on our street. There may be 500 cars on this road, but there will never be a car in front of this house.
Well, I mean, if I were to come out there, I wouldn't know. I'd just park in front of the house. I'd have no clue.
No, you wouldn't.
Why?
No, you wouldn't. I'm telling you.
Well, but something would keep me from choosing that spot subliminally, like I would say I don't want to.
Yes.
Okay, so somehow there's
inherently nobody's done it. I've been on this street 45 years, and I can tell you story after story. So how do we find out the history behind this area?
And where is it?
Okay, yeah. Where is it again? What road are you on?
Story.
What road is it on again?
Inga.
What?
INGA, Inga Street.
Inga, and you don't have a street address for the house, do you?
Oh, sure I do. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know if the homeowner would want me
Okay,
to
well,
say it
don't
publicly.
put it out now. We'll put you on hold, and you can tell Mary Elena
Well,
if you want to pass it on to him.
Is she close to a railroad track?
Yeah, do you know, is it close to railroad tracks?
Oh, absolutely. We run parallel to the railroad.
Well, there was
track.
a train wreck back there, and I think if
A train wreck in that area? Because I was going to ask you, East Nashville's got a lot of history.
there was
too,
a
of
real
course.
bad train wreck somewhere in East Tennessee back in, I guess it was the 1930s or 40s. It killed
Yeah.
a lot of people. When it happened, they brought the folks back to Union Station who were still hanging on because the hospital was so full. There's so many people who were injured, but it could be attributed to that.
So there are ways. I mean, and would you agree East Nashville probably too a fertile area, maybe? Some
Oh
of the
yeah.
older homes there.
Well, yeah, you got to think in the Creve Hall area over there. That's where the Battle of Nashville was fought.
Yeah.
Over behind Travelers Rest, like John Overton, Franklin Road Academy. A lot of folks died in that part of town.
I'm wondering, and thank you, Ann, for that. It's just interesting. The Hermitage. I don't know if out there, Tulip Grove, and I mean, is there a chance that at night maybe you see Andrew Jackson riding his horse?
Well, it's funny you say that. I talked to a lady. I did a little ghost tour in Gallatin with some people promoting the book.
Yeah.
And a lady showed me a picture she took at Hermitage at night, and had these big kind of cloudy orb-looking ball-shaped things in her picture over. There's like a picture on the mantle, and these two cloudy-looking orbs appear out of nowhere. She took 3 or 4 pictures. It's only in one picture.
Yeah.
It's really, really strange. And I've heard that the Hermitage is haunted, but supposedly the staff there doesn't really talk about it. They don't want you to, because they get a lot of money from the state,
Yeah.
so they kind of keep it under wraps. But I've been told a lot of weird things happen there.
Let's go next to Cindy. Good morning, Cindy.
Morning, Nick.
Hey there.
Yeah, sweets. I tell you what, in a way, I used to believe ghosts were scary, but then I learned they weren't. I lived in one place, and I have no idea why my kitchen chairs kept getting next to the wall.
Okay.
But, first I was scared to death, like who's breaking in my house, change the locks, everything else. And, but never could figure that out. I mean, and then they would take my bowl of fruit or something or candy off the table and move it somewhere else. But when I was living in Laverne, I was sleeping, and I'd never been, that's what shook me up. I was a teenager. I was sleeping, and all of a sudden I rolled over and I look, and oh God, I seen this man all dressed in black with a big top hat on, but not like Lincoln or anything. And he was just staring and staring. So I acted like I was asleep, and I thought my family was slain. And then I heard a little noise, and I know no way anybody could break into it.
Yeah.
And then when I woke up, I thought he was gone. I woke up in the morning when it was daylight. They were gone. I'm telling you, there's ghosts there.
I mean, I believe what she says. People swear by it.
Well, I've heard, like in Laverne and Antioch, when Percy Priest Lake was made, I guess what in the
I don't know, it was man-made,
it was the mid 20th century.
Is that right?
There was a
Okay.
lot of cemeteries and graveyards out there,
And
and when
they
they
just
flooded it, I've heard a lot of weird things happening in Laverne and Antioch because it's supposedly attributed to them making the lake out there.
Yeah, I'll never
I'm not sure about
forget.
her case.
I know. You always want to, and obviously this stuff is the stuff of Hollywood. And I'll never forget the movie Poltergeist, and how, you don't just build a subdivision over in a burial ground because maybe that's just not right? And you shouldn't do that, not because of ghosts, but because it's not the honorable thing to do. And every once in a while you hear about, they're doing a construction and all of a sudden they find graves, and the right thing to do, because it's the right thing for the families and the deceased, is to move them.
Yeah.
But sometimes it happens, I mean, well, there's an issue right now. There's a
Place in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, Murfreesboro. They're building, and I think they encountered or they knew, and they have to remove some of the graves that are at this location there where they're building, I think, a shooting range. And so you do something like that. But you think if areas where you build over it, that creates the possibility?
Well, I think like when I lived behind Travelers Rest, that was Indian land. There were mounds everywhere.
Okay.
It's possible that what I experienced in that home is due to the house probably being on top of a burial ground.
Yeah. All right, more ghost stories. If you'd like to share them, we'd love to hear from you, like the last two callers, 737-7587. When we come back, too, I want you to pick out a few from your book, Southern Ghost Stories, that kind of jump out at you as being particularly interesting. On this Halloween, we'll take a break and be back with your calls. More with our guest, author Allen Sircy, right after this.